Hey girls, turn your kink into cash. Fetishes have never paid so well. Visit flirtywork.com to learn more. While online, check out sensualdominationmistress.com for weekly articles on BDSM. Also, look up True Kink Podcast on iTunes and FetLife. Let's get to the show.
I'm sorry. We don't have bad memories. If you told me, I would have acted differently. I've always been there, and I always will. If you say you want me still.
King Hulk here. Got a great episode ahead of you today. Joining me on the episode is the Governor. Just a Governor and King Hulk episode. We banter back and forth. I haven't even edited yet, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to keep or not keep. But we talk about our future plans for ourselves with the new year having started. So it's a new year. Everyone does that new year, new me bullshit. Me, I'm kind of, making some changes of my own. New year, it's always going to be about change. In fact, I talk about in the episode that I kind of didn't even want to record this week, but I forced myself to anyway. Almost just canceled with Governor last night, and I was just going to do a little talk about by myself for a few minutes. But I got some shit going on in my life, not going to lie. Some good, some bad, a lot of shit. We touch on that for a little bit. But you know what? That's life. Shit happens, then you die. That's a good message to be starting off this episode with. Nice little optimism. Shit happens, then you die. Sometimes you get laid. Preferably not in that order. One thing I want to do with FetCast this year is get a little better on my introductions before jumping into the episode. Because lately I've been listening to a lot more podcasts that are not my own. Getting a little less vain about it. Starting to listen to other podcasts that I may or may not be going on to later this year. And people do the intro, so I want to start getting a little more personal in my intros. But yeah, 2016 is going to be the year of change. Got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of stuff not planned, but fuck it, that's life. But yeah, change happens. That happens to everybody. And when it does, at first, it's shitty. You're not going to like it. No one likes change. You get comfortable with what you know, what you do. When change happens, you just want to fight it. You want to try and hold on to it and keep it. Sometimes you gotta let it go. This episode's becoming a real laugh-a-minute. Real crowd pleaser there. Fuck it. Enjoy the Governor on the show. And, yeah. That's it. Welcome to FetCast. Is this our first one where it's just me and you? Or did we already do one? Yeah, we did one.
Just me and you?
Yeah, just me and you.
I don't know.
Bellatrix, she's only been on one, right? Well, besides the takeover.
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Nice having you back on.
Yeah. Good to be back.
Recording in the lovely living room.
Yep.
Dog sleeping at your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Nice glass windows for sound to reverberate off of.
Absolutely.
Probably going to pick up a couple of trucks driving by.
Yep.
Oh no. I've turned into a podcaster that's somewhat apologizing for how their podcast sounds, but promises the next one will be better.
Is there a lot of podcasters out there that do that?
Yeah, a lot of ones that do that then die out.
Oh.
Yeah. But I am determined to keep this show going. But we almost didn't do this one this week.
Yeah.
Thought about skipping it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I'm just determined to make sure we get one out every week. I was getting a little nervous because you were kind of late.
Yeah, well, with the thing with Madame Bellatrix is she's always late. She can never be on time for anything.
I know, but she was on her way into work, so I assumed naturally.
Nope.
What time is she supposed to be in?
1.
She probably parked at 1.
I'm there. She might have gotten there on time. I know every time she takes me to work, I'm like a few minutes late. But I have like a 5-minute grace period. So as soon as it goes from 5 to 6, then I'm late.
Gotcha. But yeah, I'm almost thought about skipping this week because I was having a pretty shitty week.
Pretty shitty week, huh?
Yep. Wow, this is really picking up you breathing. How's school going?
It's going great.
Anyway, people are going to hear you breathe. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Got a dog on my lap now, god damn it.
So I thought, like you were saying today was just going pretty bad. So you're saying the whole week's gone.
Well, it's only Wednesday now, and my shitty week started on Tuesday.
Ugh.
Like, I stayed in bed most of the day, because literally every time I went, all right, I'm going to get out of bed, foot hits the ground. More shit happens. I've been having a pretty shitty couple of weeks, to be honest. And I was afraid to actually sit down and record today, because today is still shitty as yesterday was.
Well, I've been kept in the dark about this. So.
Yes, you have.
Yep.
And so is everyone. But a couple weeks ago, I was having a shitty night. I got a email from a listener.
Mm-hmm.
Someone I've been talking to about getting on the show, because they do a little bit of taboo stuff.
Gotcha.
I thought it'd make for a good show. But they got an email. They had an ad up on Craigslist. And someone responded with my full real name,
Ooh.
my picture off of Fet.
What?
Yeah. And my cell phone number.
Someone really hates you, apparently.
And a message that... Anyway, the listener got the...
You said this was on Craigslist?
Yeah. My info wasn't on Craigslist. Somebody responded to a listener's personal ad with my information.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do you know or have an inkling of who this was? Well, I mean,
I may have an inkling, but I have no proof. It could be anyone that has all that information.
I could probably take a semi-wild guess.
And last week when we recorded, I almost wanted to talk about it on last week's, but I was too soon. I'll wait a week. But I thought about opening last week's show with a reading of the full email, which I still can't do.
Still can't do.
No,
Why?
I can't read everything.
Oh. It's kind of funny you say that because my roommate, someone apparently posted a ad seeking him out on Craigslist.
What, the misconnections?
Yeah. It was pretty funny.
So how do you know they were seeking him out?
Because it was just outright blatant. They stated where he worked. They gave a description of what he looked like. He's the only one who with that description at his job.
So the listener read the email and could tell that this was someone just trying to use someone's information to give them a horrible time. Since the email, I've received a couple of texts from complete strangers warning me about this. So luckily, whoever did this, they did it in such an idiotic way in which you will be able to clearly tell that they're trying to cause some shit for someone.
So you were saying people had warned you that this person...
strangers who got the same message. So the theory is that whoever did this was just emailing a bunch of dudes off of Craigslist.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I can say all the words in this email, Gov. I'm not going to say all of them.
Well, you can just bleep them out.
Yeah,
bleep, beep, 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 beep.
The email. All right, first of all, it's the ad that was responded to was a T for M ad.
Okay.
A black T for M.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
My name is blank blank. My real legal name.
Gotcha.
And I love cock.
Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
I'm not going to repeat that. I'm just going to keep going.
Sure, go for it.
I just cannot get enough of it. I love cocking my mouth and ass. Was this you? Wow. My personal bad experience is just you were redlining on laughter.
I'm sorry.
Mind you.
I'm sorry.
Where was I? Oh, mouth and ass. There we go. Yeah. I especially love big old dick.
God.
I hope you can give it to me and don't mind a loose ass. I also love getting beat up like the submissive little bitch that I secretly am. Here's my cell phone number. Be sure to call me anytime, day or night, because I just cannot get enough dick. Area code. Numbers. Some more numbers. Be sure to give that number to everyone you know. Followed with an attachment of a picture that not only was me, but literally a screenshot off of Fet with my Fet info.
Wow. Now, let's just go out and say, if you had the proof, if you knew who this was, like, would you turn them into Fet, or would they just create?
Well, this wouldn't be a Fet issue. Like, this could be a legal issue. However, the person that got the email would have to, go to the police with me, and I'm not gonna let someone else get drug into all, this shit. Oh, yeah, that was a fun
This
night.
is just the start of the shitty week.
Well, this was from a couple weeks ago. This was the day before the last munch I went to.
Yeah, I would be pretty pissed if that came up.
Yeah.
With me. So please, anyway, if I try to be nice to everybody. So anyone with my number out there, can you please not do that to me? That would be awesome. Thank you. Just putting that out there.
But because of this, I'm getting a lot more strict on who gets my info and real name. Like, I'm literally going to just start telling anyone, oh, you want to contact me? Kick. You're not getting a goddamn number.
Yeah, I mean, actually now Kik is seeming more...
Like, when I first heard of Kik, I always thought Kik was kind of just shady.
I used it once, and literally I think I had it on my iPod Touch, and I would just forget that it was there and never use it.
Now, that's all I'm going to do. If people want to contact me...
Now you're just talking about new people, or...
Nah, old people already have my info, but... Yeah.
I mean, they can eventually... You would trust them with your personal information, yeah or no?
Eventually, trust is going to get built. Because, once this happened, everyone was saying, we'll just get a new phone number. I've had my phone number for 13 years.
Yeah.
A lot of, professional contacts have that number.
Yeah.
I can't get rid of it, ever.
So where does it go from there?
What do you mean?
As far as your shitty week? Or does it just stem from that? Or do we not want to go that way?
I cannot continue to talk about my shitty week because I'm hoping I can salvage my shitty week.
Salvage.
But when you got here, you were talking about something happened this morning to you.
Yeah, I had a very interesting morning. So we were waking up, and I was gonna go get my shower. Madame Bellatrix was just stayed in bed. She was on the iPad, apparently.
Did you hit her in the face again?
No. Oh, by the way, that was an accident. I accidentally dropped the iPad on her face. Just happened to be the right spot on her cheek. It drew blood. It's an iPad. I don't know how it did it.
If you drop an iPad, how do you drop it onto someone else's face?
She was laying down, and I was just kind of on my side, and then I thought it kind of just fell right between us, but apparently it But that was another time. So I get done with my shower, and I come back into the room, and I notice she's way off, on the bed. She's way off into the far corner, and she ain't acting right. So I was like, what?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm like...
Did you catch her?
Catch her what?
No.
No, I was like, what's the matter? Like, what's wrong? And before I go any further,
It's a baby!
no. Don't put that juju on me, Ricky Bobby.
That's just payback because you said the same thing earlier to me.
I did. I'm going to say this as a precaution. I've been given the permission to look at porn. She watches porn. She says it's okay, and she doesn't care that I watch porn. But she was going on to some other website, but when she goes to this website, it brought up some kind of ad for some kind of sex hookup site. But it wasn't only that, but it was bookmarked somehow. And I thought it was weird. I thought it was really weird because when I woke up this morning, and I was using the iPad, the bookmark thing was up, but I didn't bookmark anything. But what I'm pretty sure what happened is that when I went to one of the porn sites, and you know how like the ad pop-ups,
Yeah.
I must have hit a wrong button or something, and it.
Well, yeah, because isn't the star like right next to the X button?
Yeah, and every time I hit that X, I guess it goes to that page.
Okay,
And
so what happened was she was getting curious as to what you've been watching.
no, it was actually it went a little bit farther than that. She thought like I was looking for somebody else to.
What website?
I'm trying to remember what it was. It was it wasn't adult friend finder, but it was very something along those lines. But then I started looking and I was like, well, there's a couple of them in here, and I don't bookmark these things. I don't. And
You're smart enough to cover your tracks.
well, when I bookmark things, the only thing I'm bookmarking is usually if it's a gift idea for you or something that if I know that I'm going to forget and I want to go back to that page, this was not one, neither one of them were that thing.
Mm.
I was just like, I'm telling you right now, I did not do that. And yeah, so that was a nice little start to the morning.
Learn from Clinton. Deny, deny, deny.
It wasn't denied. That was.
I
the
know.
truth.
This is the truth. You're not that kind of guy. I'm going to go through my phone, my bookmarks.
Well, she was pretty upset about it. I just wanted to really let her know that wasn't. I told her I was going to talk about it in the show today. She's like, oh, okay. And I showed her too. I was like, I even went to the page. She goes to the same site as I do.
Let me guess. X Hamster.
Yeah.
I'll plug them. That's the one I go to.
Yeah.
Literally, if you get my phone away from me, literally my bookmarks on my browser on here, all of them has a tiny little hamster. Oh, no. 10 Ways to Fight Subdrop, Domcom Atlanta. Oh, X Hamster, X Hamster, X Hamster.
Yeah. I kind of, for the first time, I knew I experienced that for the first time. No, you said Subdrop or Dom Drop?
Subdrop.
Oh, yeah. Well, I experienced the Dom Drop for the first time. Wasn't very fun at all.
What'd you do?
What did I
how did you experience it?
It was so weird. We were making breakfast, me and her, and the thing was, we had done something. We had been at an event. It was a couple nights before, and I was fine. And then, we were making breakfast, and then all of a sudden, I just felt like it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was just feeling mopey as all get out. And then she came over and I was like, what's wrong? And I literally just broke down in tears. I just started crying. I have never experienced that ever before. And then the more I started reading up on Dom Drop and stuff like that. Well, I don't want to say Dom Drop, or Top Drop is what I was looking up. And I was beginning to think maybe this was it. I mean, I just couldn't explain it. It was just so weird. I mean, at least maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not what it was, but that's what I attribute it to, because I could not come up with a reason of where that came from. But the only reason why we were kind of attributing it to Top Drop was because that was the first time a couple nights prior that I had played with. I had done two 2 scenes at one play party. Yeah. Which to me kind of makes sense, but it was so weird. So there's a little personal information about me out there.
I have too much personal information out there.
A little too much.
Too
much. Well, I had a topic that we were actually talking about. We were coming home from somewhere, and then we were talking about like hard limits, etiquettes, and protocols under a certain setting.
Yeah, they can fluctuate between different.
Well, here what we were thinking about is like, we'll take a threesome for example.
Okay.
So we were thinking, okay, well, we know what we would, what we're okay with, what we won't do, and then you bring in that third person, and then you get to know them, and you see what their hard limits are, and things that they're okay with, and all that, and then you go through with it, and if they like it, you can go, do it again at some other point. And then you can probably even do the same kind of scenario if you had a foursome. But then let's go beyond that, because at some point after 4, we'll just go out and call it and say it's an orgy. Now you have an orgy setting, which is, I'm going to go ahead and say between.
Well, when it, the phrase we would use for foursome, but whenever we hit 5, we would refer to that as a moresome. Because to me, 5 isn't really quite an orgy, because that'd be a triad and a couple. That's not really an orgy. That's same as 2 dating units. So,
well, that's why I was going to say, we'll say a party setting of between 20 and 30 people.
Okay.
Okay, so you have all these people out there, and let's say you make this as an event that you say this is an orgy. Now you have all these people there. How do you address everyone's hard limits and things like that?
To me, an orgy, something like that, that'll be when, it's a party. Not everyone is going to be, fucking everybody. You mingle, talk with people, just start doing your thing after you talk. So to me, you just take it by a case-by-case basis and just... Because even if, beforehand, if everyone sat down and set all their limits, 20 people, you're not going to remember each and everything.
That was one of the things that we were thinking about. With so many people there, how would you be able to remember everyone's hard limits, let alone which ones they belong to?
Yeah, but I don't really think you can have a BDSM orgy. To me, you have a BDSM party and then a sex orgy. And when you're having an orgy at that point, it's pretty much, guys know what they're willing to do. We have a dick, we just stick it somewhere. Pretty much it's just what women gotta tell you either, which holes you can and can't. And, with an orgy, it can be body language, Let's say you're, fucking her in the pussy, then you pull out, and then you start to head towards the ass, and she goes, she does the dolphin, not to go. Yeah.
I guess. I was just always curious because...
And I would say common courtesy is never do ass to mouse unless they ask.
I've always been curious. I would not mind participating in an orgy. However, Madame Bellatrix, she kind of could care less, go one way or the other. Now, threesome, she's got no problem with or anything like that. But a mass group, she wouldn't be too much a fan of. But I was just kind of wondering, well, if you're ever put in that setting where you knew, if you knew the people that were there, and she would be interested in playing with other women. She's bi-curious as well. If you knew who the people were there, if you knew who they were and you knew what their hard limits were, would she feel more comfortable being in that kind of setting to do that kind of thing? And I'm not sure if I've been able to persuade her to do it. If it's not her thing, I'm not really going to stress it or anything like that. But I was just curious, and that was something we were talking about on the ride home from somewhere. She said it was a good question, and I should bring it up on the show, so I did.
But yeah, with an orgy, it's just, depending on how big the group is, you'd talk about beforehand, maybe. But still, think of an orgy more of a party setting, you.
Well, I figure you could always put up a thread up on Fet, and then...
But no one's going to remember, especially, a lot of people are kind of more anonymous on there. You're not going to be able to put face to face or, remember it.
Or you would think certain people, how they have color bracelets at certain things. Like, okay, well, she's got a purple one on, so we know we can't do that with that one.
She has a brown one, so she's all good for anal.
Yellow, she's
Yeah, she can get pissed on.
yeah.
Although I don't think too many people are doing piss play at an orgy.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there would be like broad overall rules where none of this is happening, none of this is happening.
Okay, better yet, here's a better idea. Before the party, everyone just takes Sharpies and write on everyone's back. Just come up with some symbols, no signs, yes signs.
I'm not sure about Sharpies because
Or just little arrows showing where you can put the penis.
stickers. Oh, wait, stickers would fall off.
Yeah, like say, Sharpie. Because you're going to get all hot and sweaty, you're going to wash off anyway.
Might need some help.
Yep, see, there we go.
Hard to reach places. So, Madame Bellatrix finally watched 50 Shades of Grey.
And
she thinks it was just total horseshit.
I know, it is. You know what movie I'm looking forward to?
50 Shades of Black.
Yeah, I am.
Oh.
I know, I hate those kinds of movies.
You want to see it in 3D, don't you?
It's not in 3D.
But you want to see it. You wish it was in 3D.
No. Just the thing that made me really want to see the movie, just like, when he put the ice on her stomach and then she just kicks him and goes, "What the fuck was that?"
It would probably be a better movie.
It was cold, motherfucker.
I believe it would be a better movie all the way around.
It will absolutely be a better movie.
Yeah, that was a nice little story when, because I got that for my sister for Christmas. She wanted it for Christmas. I wouldn't just outright give my sister 50 Shades of Grey. It's just weird. But, yeah, I was at Walmart and I was getting the gifts for, because we were going to do like a little movie basket theme. Like we give her some like movie candy and some popcorn with some movies she liked in there. So, of course, the ones...
Some lube, condoms.
No. So the ones that she wanted were Dracula Untold, Magic Mike XXL, and 50 Shades. Madame Bellatrix had already bought her Dracula Untold, and she wasn't with me at the time. So, of course, it left me to buy the other two. So I'm up in line buying these other two movies, and this one woman has got like all this stuff. Like she's got clothes, she's got groceries and everything. And I put a good amount of space between my stuff, which were face down on the conveyor thing, and between her stuff. But this cashier, she's just rolling. She's just scanning this stuff, and she scanned those two movies with her stuff. And then the mom, yeah, she had some kids with her. She was like, no, those aren't mine. Those aren't mine. I was like, yeah, they're mine. Yeah, that was.
What I would have done was I would have just bought gift cards and said, "This is what this is for."
It was all right. I mean,
well, nah.
She of all people, she actually liked the movie. I was like, really?
Or wait, was it a female cashier that was ringing you up?
Yes.
We get done. You could have just like picked up 50 Shades, and be like, "It's for my girlfriend." Do one of those
For my sister.
Are you still embarrassed to buy condoms?
No, I just don't buy them.
Baby!
No. Yeah, we don't use them.
I wasn't going to ask you that, but hypothetically, if you had... Because I remember there was a time when you just, yeah.
Where, now, just pray tell, where did we hear this from?
What?
That I was...
I remember a time when, I was trying to get you to buy condoms because you were hoping to get lucky with a certain lady. I think this was years ago.
Probably.
So I don't want to...
Yeah.
This to come back and bite you or anything.
Yeah.
But this was a couple years ago.
She knows about all the people I've been with. I've told her. And I know all the ones that, at least, that she's told me about.
You always multiply by 3.
I can't do that. My number's not that big.
No, I meant when a woman tells you.
Oh, okay. I mean, of course, respectively, I would buy condoms. If the third person decided to come into the group, I would, out of respect and being safe, everything. But hey,
I don't know. I just always picture if you ever had to buy condoms, I just see that be a time when your dad just randomly pops up in whatever store you're in.
I would. Yeah, I'm not going to say it would probably be. I'll be the smoothest at buying it. I probably wouldn't. Walmart's not bad. You can just go to the place and just pick those up. But anywhere else, it's like behind the counter. Like they purposely make it weird for you to get it. It's like, hey, can I get that one? Behind you. Just turn around.
The extra large.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you need, I got a ton of condoms you can have. I recently moved my truck, and I found my condom stash in the truck.
Damn.
And
how much did you have in there?
Doesn't matter. You know the little visor where you're supposed to put sunglasses in?
Yeah.
Packed with condoms.
That truck has seen a lot of business.
I will not confirm nor deny it.
I guess most of that must take place in the truck bed, because I don't think a whole lot can be going on in that cab.
No, you'd be... I've never had sex in the bed part of the truck.
Well, we were talking about this the other day. It's like, I can't do car sex. I can't do it. I hate it. I've done it twice in 2 different cars with 2 different girls. It sucks. I hate it.
I don't know. I'm partial to car sex.
I don't like it at all. It doesn't give you any room.
Well, to me, it's not about the room. That's more the excitement of, presumably you're in like a risky public area, kind of.
That was the first time.
Where was that at?
That was like Port Mahon. During the day.
Okay.
Where I was on my back, she was on top, and I had to look out the rearview mirror to see if any cars were coming in. We almost got caught a couple of times. That one wasn't so bad as opposed to the second time, where it was at night, secluded place in the dark. She's probably listening to it and she knows exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm not dropping any names. We both agreed it was just awful. It was just like, she offered like, well, what if you like got outside and put me over the hooded door or something like that? I'm like, well, I don't want to get bugs. I don't want any kind of chiggers. I don't want any kind of ticks. No, I'm not going outside.
I forget where. Like, I forget what. I want to say maybe this was Slaughter Beach. I just remember doing something there. I just remember the next day, my entire ass and legs was just covered in nothing but mosquito bites.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that.
Yeah. In our state, I do not recommend beach sex at night anywhere.
Outside sex in general, I think, would just suck.
So what are some things you're hoping to accomplish this year? Kinky or not? Either one.
This year, okay. There's a lot of things, actually. Well, we'll start with the kink ones. So when we were at the Jingle Ball, you kind of gave Madame Bellatrix a taste of what it's like with the Violet wand. So I'm not saying that it's a definite that I'm going to buy one, and I'd probably say like the next play party that we're at, I'll let you do a session with her first, and then I might try it myself with her. Once I get a kind of feel on it, we'll see if it's something that we want to add. I'm sure she would probably want to add it to her play bag, but between electrical and anything fire play, it's like I'm very hesitant to do. Electrical, I think I could be more okay with, maybe. Definitely fire is probably something.
Honestly, the Violet Wand is more intimidating. Because I was talking about, like, all it is once you learn how to turn it on and off, put the electrodes in and out of it, general safety stuff. It's as simple as just turning it on, and as you're playing, just figure out where on the dial they like it. Know where it's too high, where it's too low.
So,
and you're good to go.
What's, like, is there really any kind of risk of you shocking yourself to a bad degree, or the person that you're playing with?
Unless you have, like, a brander on it. Not really, no. It'll pass. It's not, like, it'll be less powerful than a taser or a stun gun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you can get them up that high. But mine that I have, I know doesn't go anywhere near that kind of voltage. Mine's more of like a beginner kit. But even then,
if
like,
we got anything that would be a beginner kit for sure.
Definitely. But to me, mine, the Nova 2, it's perfect. It goes up, like, some people goes up too high. Other ones, like, there are a couple people that have used it on where they just kind of laugh at it. But
Laugh at it.
well, yeah, like, there's one, like, trying to figure out the right terminology. Like, there are people that are pain sluts. She's kind of an electrical slut. Like,
okay.
like, I'll just turn up as high as it'll go, and she'll just laugh at it while
gosh.
getting. But then, like, depending on the attachment I put on it, there's a couple that she'll just kind of run away from.
Gotcha.
So it's all about just experimenting with it and trying it.
And then I definitely want to get Miss Bellatrix signed up for West Wing if we can. Want to do that at some point. And then as far as non-kink related, I think I've made this. I know it's kind of cheesy to talk about like New Year's resolutions and things like that because no one really ever keeps them. You are one of those people. Awesome.
Like, to me, there's a difference between having a revolution.
A revolution?
Damn it, I did this last week. There's a difference between having a resolution and, you know, just goals. I mean, even though it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, I see it more as a goal.
I mean, there's always this stereotypical, you know, I want to, you know, get in shape. I want to join a gym. I want to, you know, do that. But, like, to me, just be like, I want to do this year at some point. You know, that's something more obtainable than...
There's two main things. Well, one of them has always been on my resolution list for at least past few years now. Is like, I want to get back into doing art. Like, I really want to get like a comic book going, and I think I'm going to revisit an idea that I had in the past and kind of go with it. And then the second thing is I really want to work on this documentary. I really want to get it off the ground. You know which one it is. But of course, I don't want to stray too much off of the topic of the podcast because I can just talk on and on about that.
Yeah.
But I do really want to buckle down, and if you can kind of help me on that, I really want to work on that again. Get that moving somewhere.
Like this week, I think would have been a great episode for me to just take off.
Possibly.
But that's one thing I refuse to do because, like all our other podcasts, the moment we missed a week, we never went back.
Now, pray tell, what would happen if you ever got sick? Like, if you were just down, out for the count, like, what would you do?
Well, I'd have to be sick for an entire week. But, like, let's say today, if I was completely sick and we couldn't do this, I probably would have just suffered through it and done it anyway.
You wouldn't have just said, hey, I really, like, put up a note on Vet, like, I can't do this. I was just too sick to do it, but we'll do, like, a double episode next week or something like that.
Nah, because there are times when we do double episodes now, like, when you go through and just see, like, the lengths, we'll do, like, 30 minutes, hour 40.
Well, I mean, when you do it, you don't have to put the two in
I
one.
know what you mean, 2 episodes.
Like, 2 in 1 week.
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, last night I was thinking about just canceling today with you, and I thought I'll just set up a microphone, record a 10-minute one just to put it out there so we don't miss a week. Well, Gov, it has been a surprisingly a good episode, I believe.
Are we wrapping up?
I don't know. We only got an hour recorded, but we had...
Only an hour, huh?
We had a lot of solid stuff in there.
We did.
Like, the first 20 minutes, we just blew right through.
It's the beginning of the year, so, I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about things that are yet to come, and it's always easier to talk about them after because there's always so much to talk about after it's been said and done. Like, oh, that was so cool, and got a chance to do this, that, and the other. So it's always January's. I've always noticed since I've signed up on member on Fet that January, the beginning
recover month.
Yeah, the beginning of every year is always kind of like that lull and things. Like you're anticipating for the bigger things that are about to come. It's like that slump in the year.
Although you should have made it to the Route 40 munch last week.
When was that? It's on
I can't even remember.
I saw a lot of people going to it. I'm like, wow, what is this? Like, why is everyone going to that?
It was good. I was.
Who's that put on by?
Well, there's the Route 40 profile, but it's also by the Filet Rose, who's been on the show, I Heart Come, and I apologize if I get the other name wrong. It was like, I want to say it's JSM 302.
Is it on a Tuesday?
I think so, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably why, because I work every Tuesday night and I can't go to any munches on Tuesday nights, which
But it was a really good munch.
bugged the piss out
It
of
was
me.
really interesting for me because it was the day after the email incident. And then after we went back to Joel's and recorded. So, everyone, if you're still listening to this, thank you for tuning in.
No one's listening right now. We're just recording.
I know, but they're going to be listening to the recording.
They'll listen. They'll listen.
I know, but they should be lucky that they even got an episode this week.
They shouldn't feel lucky. They know we'll deliver an episode for them on a weekly basis. You got to be positive.
I know. Next week, we're going to do the munch. That's going to be recorded, so that'll be episode 27.
And where's that at again?
I hate saying the name of this place. I can
say
son of a bitch.
It's kind of funny when you say it.
Vincenzo's.
That sounds pretty right, actually.
And 2 weeks after that, we're going to have John Baku on again.
Cool. Have you had him on? You have had him on since?
Just once.
Just once.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, you're going to tell him that when I freaked out when he was like, oh, I said my name on the thing.
I will now.
He botched it up, but it was like, he still said, and he saw your page. Like, oh my God, he visited my page.
Are you friends with him on Fet?
No, I'm not.
Why not send him a request then?
It's just only the guy who created Fet. It just feels kind of.
He doesn't post that much.
I know. Like I was geeking out, and I was telling my roommate about it. I was like, yeah, man, he said my name on FetCast, and then he actually visited my page, and he was like, wow, that's something. Like, I think that's pretty.
That's like Zuckerberg visiting your Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to. I don't know why. I would love to interview him. What,
Baku?
Yeah, just pick his brain a little bit.
Maybe we can get you on. We're recording on the 27th.
I don't know why, and I'll probably freeze up too. I'd be like,
hell, we might even record at your house.
I'd probably be like Chris Farley on the interview. So,
what do you like to eat? Stupid. So stupid. If you're not on there to do it, I'm gonna do it now.
So, what's your favorite color? Yeah, of course. Yeah, should have known that.
So stupid. Hand to God, if you're not there to do it, do I have permission to take your idea and do it?
Go for it.
It'd be like Ozzy all over again. Oh, I want to do that. I'm not worthy.
You delivered. I didn't.
And that's how I got a picture of me with Ozzy Osbourne smiling. Prince of Darkness smiling. And everyone that looks at the picture goes, who is that?
I've had people think that it's fake. People have seen my picture.
It's a Polaroid. You can't fake a Polaroid.
They thought either it was a body double
or cardboard.
Yeah, I was like, no, that was. Her mom came over and saw that picture, and she was like, she thought it was really cool.
So, thanks for everyone for tuning in.
Yes, thank you very much.
Gonna do the sign off now. You guys sign off.
I've had my sign.
Oh yeah,
off.
you have.
And I gotta go first, right?
You gotta go first.
All right. Well, it's been nice talking to you, fine folks. So until next time, perv on, folks.
This has been King Hulk. Until next time, stay kinky.
Did we pick the wrong path? Is there no going back? Is this ever gonna change? Will we always be the same? I'm scared if I go, I'll find out you were the best thing about me. So maybe I'll stay here and wonder what my life could be.
I think anyone, because we've been talking about, we solve that problem.
Nicely done. I don't think I could have ever done that.
What?
Just one-handed.
Take a collar off a dog one-handed?
Yep.
Can you take a bra off one-handed?
Nope. I'll fully admit that. It takes me a good 5 minutes. Maybe not even 5 minutes. It's like 2. I'm there like, yeah. Usually it's not me the one doing it, so I usually don't have to worry about it. Bless you. Bless you again.
There's your after credit right there.
This is your after credit.
The fuck was that? No, you have no idea how weird that was. Like, I heard like the intake of the burp
It was
from like your gut.
Yeah.
On the wow, that was. Are you a Sarlacc pit?
Yeah.
Weird. You becoming my therapist now? Little therapy for King Hulk.
It can be if you want to. I did take a psych class, so.
So that what in high school?
No, college.
College?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. You're listening to Dr. Fraser Crane. I've been marathoning the fuck out of that.
I hate that show.
No, you gotta go back and watch Frasier. I'm telling
So
you.
boring.
When was the last time you watched it?
Never.
Never?
Never.
And you're saying it's boring?
I've tried.
Like, when I was a kid, I hated that show. The only time I'd ever watch it was when it was sandwiched in between 2 episodes of Simpsons reruns. But as an adult, like, it's 11 seasons. And then, like, the past month, I'm already on season 8 or 9 now. And the weirdest thing is, it is becoming one of my favorite shows, not because it's new to me, but after watching 8 or 9 seasons into it, so far the quality of, like, the show has just maintained. Like, you know how, like, when you marathon a lot of shows, you'd be like, oh, this season's kind of they get kind of out there.
Yeah.
So far, 8 or 9 seasons in, this one's just been steady. I give it a shot.
It's any movie or TV series, it's got to get that hook into me, and if it doesn't, I can't just blindly give something a shot. It literally has. I have to have the interest in it.
Yeah, like Jessica Jones, I tried. I gave it one episode.
No interest in that.
Like Daredevil, I watched the first episode. I really wasn't into it, but then
I do need to watch it. I've heard a lot of good things.
like
about
it actually did pick up.
Lucifer, I do want to see when it comes on.
You haven't seen the first episode?
Is it already up?
Oh, it came out like last year. Like I want to say like a year ago.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it leaked, and it was really good. So I'm excited for that show.
Cool.